Hey, what's up, everyone? Today we're going to be talking about what is the Milton model. So, if you're watching this, most likely you watch what is the meta model on their previous video called what is the meta model. If you haven't watched that, please watch that video on what is the meta model. Today we're going to be discussing about what is the Milton model. The Milton model is an excellent tool to help explain to a patient or a person. Who is this Milton model for? Generally, the Milton model is used for therapists, doctors, social workers, doctors of that class, therapy, some type of therapist. And it's an excellent form of storytelling done in a way that will reframe the patient's problem. Most of the time, they describe this as a artfully vague language style that when the person is listening to it, they get treated of their problems. They don't know why. It's just after hearing these beautiful and very artfully vague language style, their problems just get fixed, and they don't know why. So one thing you know is like you're listening to how the elephant was in the room. This big bad elephant was in the room. Next thing you know, it's gone, and then your problems are fixed, and you're like, oh yeah, that's right. So that's what, my problem's just gone. I just heard this little story, and then boom, next thing you know, it's gone. The way they describe it most of the time is that it's an artfully vague language style. Almost, I guess you can say it's very similar to storytelling. It's a very hypnotic storytelling that allows you to fix people's problems in a way that's very covert and explains to them something without their conscious awareness of it. So let's say you came to me and you were stressed. And then I will say to you a story about one day there was a dog that was stressed out. He was upset, and he was feeling stressed. And he was bored with his life because things weren't going as he wanted it to go. Then a therapist told the dog, "Hey, why don't you go out for a walk and play outside?" And the dog was like, I don't know if I want to do that. And the dog then said, all right, finally, maybe you have a good idea. Maybe I'll go outside and go out and take a walk. And maybe it'll relieve some stress. So the dog went and decided to take a walk. And the dog was surprised that, after taking a walk, hey, what happened to my problems? I don't even know what problems. So the dog went back to the therapist and said, hey, problem solved. I don't got no more problems. And the therapist looked at the dog and said, right. You don't have any more problems, right? The dog said, no, I don't got no more problems. I walked out my problems. Boom. And this was a very, very simple story. Not supposed to be something that was a great story, but it was just a simple story to highlight how, when you're explaining a story in such a hypnotic way, that when the listener listens to the story, they feel like, oh, I'm listening to the story. Next thing I know, my problems are fixed, and they don't know why. The most important thing is that it has to be very easy on the consciousness. Alright? I'm not trying to reveal my secrets in this video, so I'm trying to keep this very vague, double vague, more vague than usual. So, you want to tell them a story that helps them reframe and help them go through their problems in a story kind of telling way. You see how we have all these kind of stories, like these fables, like those kind of stories? Well, those are classical ways to convey ideas and life lessons in a story. And this is what was his name again? Dr. Milton? Whatever, let's just call him Dr. Milton. I forgot his first name. This is what Dr. Milton did. Bear the name Milton Model. The Milton Model was named after a man named Dr. Milton, because he was the excellent hypnotist. He was an excellent hypnotist. When patients came to him, their problems were fixed very quickly as well. He is the grandfather of hypnosis. All right. What's his name? Eric Milton? Is that why they call it Ericksonian hypnosis? I don't really remember. I'm not too caught on these details. But he was a brilliant hypnotist. He was able to fix most people's problems in probably half the session compared to other therapists. And that's because what he did was hypnosis. He used hypnosis in a very artfully vague language style to bypass any resistance that the patients would have. And they didn't have it because he did it in such a way that bypassed their conscious resistance. And people are naturally hardwired to have resistance and to say no out of fear and just, low comfort zones. So for you guys listening to this video about what is the Milton Model, I want you guys to understand that the Milton Model is any way that you can, storytell a lesson to someone in a way that helps them solve their problems, essentially. Helps them reframe limiting beliefs, helps them to get over challenges and obstacles. Just the other day, I was talking to this person who's saying they were struggling. They didn't have any food. So then I told them a story. The other day I was out walking my dog, and he didn't have any food. So I told the dog, hey, why don't you ask some of the other dogs for some food? And he was like, what? And then, I just said, all right, I gotta go, but, we'll talk later. And then he looked at me like I was stupid or something. Next thing I know, he called me and said, hey, I got some food. And I was like, I was laughing my butt off because, I just did my hypno magic, right? But the thing about hypnosis is that you want to be careful with this kind of thing, okay? You want to make sure that you're not trying to take the credit of hypnosis, right? Leave your ego aside. Milton, he knew this best. He knew to leave his ego aside. When you're doing any kind of hypnosis or persuasion or influence, you gotta drop the ego and you gotta let the other person think it's their own idea. Okay? All you're doing is just putting it to them. And then you give it to them, right? With a little kid playing with a toy. You're the father, and you give the kid the toy, and they accept the toy, and they feel happy, and they don't know why they got happy, but you know why they got happy. It's because you gave them the toy. And the kid doesn't know that they were happy because they received the toy, but the father, he knows that he was responsible for the boost of happiness that the child is experiencing. And that can be you when you use the power of the Milton Model. The Milton Model can be an excellent way to bypass any resistance. It can be an excellent tool for you to storytell and bypass any conscious resistance and then transfer life lessons in such a way that people will love you for. Take a look at Oprah. Take a look at Joel Austin. Take a look at any of these celebrities. All of these people are using the power of storytelling and hypnosis to help people get over their problems successfully. Right? You gotta have world-class hypnotic skills to do this. To do what Joel Austin is doing and to do what Oprah is doing. Is that some kind of power you're interested in? Are you interested in storytelling in such a way that people just obey and listen to what you have to say? Is this something that interests you by any chance? Would you like to treat people's problems? Would you like to help them get over their problems? in a laser-like way. Are you a salesperson? You just want to make more money. I got something special for you. I got something special for you today. It's called Secret Agent Persuasion. Secret Agent Persuasion will help you bypass resistance. It would also help you to speak in such a way that people have no choice but to listen to you and want to do business with you. Or if you're a therapist, people just listen to you and be like, oh, my problems are now fixed. And they're not going to know why. They won't understand why, but then they'll just know, hey, my problems are gone. I like you. I want to be around you more often. And they'll just keep coming back and back and back and back. And if you're selling something, get ready to sell a lot more products. If you're healing people, expect to have magical healing powers. Because when you use the tools and strategies that are in Secret Agent Persuasion, you can bet you will increase more money. You will fix people's problems. People will be happy around you. People will want to be your friend. Is this something that you're interested in? If not, then no hard feelings. But if you are, my buddy George Hunt, who is a master hypnotist, master NLP practitioner, he's a hypnotist guru. He can teach you what you need to know about persuasion with his latest work called Secret Agent Persuasion. You'll be surprised. Trust me when I say this. And I'm not someone that I get impressed very often, but you'll be surprised at how mesmerizing the work will be. All you need to do is just sit back and relax and grab a couple eyeballs so that you can just read his work. Because when you read his work, you'll just instantly get all the right ideas of what you need to do to be naturally hypnotic, naturally persuasive, and naturally mesmerizing. If this is something that you're interested in, then please, I have a special link down below where you can try Secret Agent Persuasion. Secret Agent Persuasion is an excellent bundle to help you give you the mindset and the strategies that you need to be ultra persuasive in a way that help you get more dollars in your bank account, in a way that will help you make more friends, in a way that will naturally be naturally hypnotic, that will instantly fix people's problems. And all you need to do is just simply check out Secret Agent Persuasion with the link down below and just read his work, and you'll see how easy persuasion really is. In fact, so easy it'll be like cranking a gumball machine, getting a piece of gumball at the end of the process. Put in 25 cents, spin it, boom. You just got a piece of gumball. That's what sales can be when you are an effective mastermind, an effective master persuader. But unlike most people think that you have to be confrontational during sales. Sales is not about being confrontational. Sales is not about being high pressure. It's not about a combat. You're not beating someone up in sales. Sales is a relationship between you and the other person. You're working together on this process here to fit each other's needs and wants. So anyway, that's all for Secret Agent Persuasion. I have about 1 minute on the clock before I go, so I want to see what else we can talk about. So the Milton model is an excellent form of, he also does this in he has a certain language style that he conveys this sort of thing with the hypnotic words. I'm sticking vague in this video. Some other time I'm going to get a little more specific. I don't want to reveal everything in this one video here. So he uses certain keywords and hypnotic storytelling to embed in the life lesson that will bypass any sort of conscious resistance. Because remember, it is the conscious mind that's a problem. And I want you to easily become aware of this, because the faster you become aware of this, the faster you can use this in either sales, marketing, advertising, romance, dating, whatever. Anyway, guys, I gotta go. Until next time.